from now on, you have to ask permission if you want to see your friends. You have to ask my permission if you want to go somewhere. You have to ask my permission if you want to spend more than $1, sir. Oh my goodness, no.
Welcome to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we want to talk about, it might be a little bit of a touchy subject, something maybe you're not ready for, but it needs to be talked about.
Stop punishing your partner.
Woo!
Oh,
you know what? And this is something that will show you if you are healthy or you're not. How do you handle one another in everyday life?
We are constantly surprised at how couples treat each other more like the children instead of their partner, instead of their equal. You know, they're asking each other to, you know what, you need to ask permission if you can do that first. You know what, you didn't do this. And so then they start punishing each other. This is ridiculous and it has got to stop.
And I think one of the things that when we hear couples bantering, and it's not even a healthy banter, right? This is something that's become a habit form. This is permanent. And because one or the other sees the other one as their child.
Or less than. Like, no, I'm in charge of the finances. I'm in charge of the kitchen. I'm in charge of the yard work, whatever it is. And you better do A, B, C. And here's your task list. And if you don't, you're going to get punished.
Instead of looking at it like, you know what, you're great at this. So you know what, I'm willing to be your helpmate in this. In the area that Cathy's strong at, I got no problem submitting to that type of authority. Listen, because she's good at that, right?
I don't even think that's authority. I'm going to say this, that life is so much more fun when you are on the same level with your partner and you're doing life together as partners. Oh my goodness, it's so much more fun than trying to manage your partner like as if it's your child.
So instead of saying what I said, the authority, your expertise. You're both two strong people building a bridge together. But I know my role and I know where I'm weak at. And I'm okay with acknowledging that to Cathy.
Because we are equals, it's okay to say, you know what, this isn't my strength. This is not something I'm good at. I need you, Ron, in this. When we work together as equals, when I'm not lording over him, I'm not in charge of him. Oh my goodness, what a relief. I'm only in charge of me. And together we navigate through this relationship. It has taken our relationship to the next level. Because before Ron went to prison, we were constantly fighting for authority.
And punishing one another when we didn't get our way.
And we see this type of behavior repeated over and over again in the couples we work with. So today, we're going to talk about why it's important to not punish each other, to establish healthy roles as equals.
So stay tuned, get out some paper, take some notes, because you're not going to want to miss this episode. Welcome to TYRO. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina. And Ron and I are the co-creators of TYRO.
TYRO is a Latin word, which means apprentice, novice, someone learning something new, a warrior.
Your job isn't to extract value from your friends, your family, or your community. Your job is to create value in every situation that you find yourself in, to help others become more successful. So what I want you to do is I want you to list 3 things that you add to your friendships, to your family, and to your community.
Listen, you are fighting every day for something, and maybe you don't even know what you're fighting for, but when TYRO comes into your life, it's there not only to empower you, but to give you a clear vision and a clear direction of what you're fighting for.
So really what TYRO means is to fight for your legacy, to become a leader in your home, your community, and your workplace.
Hello guys, I'm Jermaine Hall, lead coach of the TYRO Fit Stimulus Program.
And I'm Ron and Cathy Tijerina, the Senior Director of TYRO Support Services. We've partnered together to bring you such an amazing workout program that's going to take you to the next level.
Because there is a measure of joy and a measure of pain in everybody's life. So when we think about shock and the impact of shock, typically people don't find themselves stuck in shock. Most of the time, people can navigate out of that.
So here's what we want you to do. We want you to think of a time that you experienced shock in your life, and we want you to write it down. Welcome back to TYRO TV. Today we're talking about stop punishing your partner.
Oh my goodness. And if you don't do this, I guarantee that you know many couples who do this. This is such a common experience among couples that we just like talk about it all the time. We look at each other, we say, oh my goodness, why are they doing that? When we say stop punishing your partner, it's like, well, you know what? Ron does something to make me mad. So you know what? I'm not going to cook for him anymore. You know what? I'm not going to do his laundry. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm going to make him miserable. I'm going to keep reminding him about it. I'm going to punish him. I'm going to take away privileges. I might even unplug the TV so he can't turn it on. What?
You know, when we see couples bickering and fighting like this, we just have to take a step back and we got to look at our relationship and say, I hope I don't do that, right? Because if I do that, what's wrong with me, right? This is the child in somebody. This is where the grown-up is still acting like the child. And we see it all the time. How do you get to a place of where you're healthy? How do you get to a place of where not parenting one another? I don't want to be Cathy's parent, right? I don't want to punish her when I don't get my way. Right? I want to have resolution. I want to have understanding. I want to come because listen, at the end of the day, we're gonna sleep together. And guess what, fellas?
And tomorrow we're gonna wake up together.
That's right. And we want to sleep together healthy. You know, I want to wake up intact. Right?
You don't want to sleep with one eye open.
Oh, no.
What's happening? So when we think about couples and the way that they punish each other, they either withhold something or they give something that the other partner doesn't want. So punish like withholding, like I'm going to withhold affection. I'm going to withhold attention. I'm going to withhold, acts of service. Or if we're going to give something in a punishment, it's like, you know what? I'm going to give this to you. I'm going to give you this barrage of unhealthy words. I'm going to call you out your name. I'm going to scream and yell at you. I'm going to tell you, all the things wrong with you and what you're not doing right. Both of those are exhausting. And, treating your partner like a child is not healthy for anybody.
When you see when you see people act in this manner, we automatically know they're not healthy, right? You can see it, and it's aired on YouTube, it's aired on Facebook, it's aired on all social medias, where people will put their garbage, right? They will go Jerry Springer in real life so everybody can see. Look, we're gonna have bad days, we're gonna have good days, we're gonna have strong days, we're gonna have all types of days, right? But at the end of the day, I want to be able to acknowledge the greatness of Cathy. And I want to be able to acknowledge the greatness of us. And I want to be able to acknowledge the greatness of myself, right? But in order to do that, I want Cathy to know, look, you're my helpmate, right? Not my
partners.
We are partners. She's not my mat, right? I'm not walking on her. I'm not treading on her, right? I want her to grow and flourish in all that she can do. But if I'm constantly tearing her down, withholding greatness from her, punishing her in ways that will make her feel, right, belittled, make her feel dishonored, disrespected, right, not loved, not cherished, right, then guess what I'm going to get? I'm going to get the same thing back because you get what you give.
And part of this goes with, this mentality that, you know what, we're in a relationship together. So from now on, you have to ask permission if you want to see your friends. You have to ask my permission if you want to go somewhere. You have to ask my permission if you want to spend more than $1, sir. Oh my goodness. No, that's how you raise up children. You know what? Before you use a credit card, I'm going to trust you with the credit card. Here's your limit. And so before you do this, before you go to your friend's house, you ask me if it's okay.
Now, Cathy didn't. Now, I have a limit on my credit card.
We have a limit.
We have a limit. But we've come together and agreed on, okay, you know what? We want to be good stewards with what we've been given. So what does that look like? And so
how much can we spend without consulting the other person saying, hey, this is going to affect our budget. Are you okay with this? Because it means that we're going to have to make some sacrifices somewhere else. It doesn't mean I'm literally asking permission. It means we're coming into agreement because we know it affects us.
So I don't exceed what we agreed upon, right? So but we have mutual respect for one another, that we honor each other. And I've given my word to Cathy that I'm not going to exceed that.
As a parent, it's okay to put boundaries around your children, to decide who they can and cannot hang out with, and help them develop the ability to choose their friends wisely, to choose how they're spending their time and what they're doing. As a spouse or a partner, that's not appropriate behavior. Oh, you know what? If you're going to hang out with him, you know what? I'm going to punish you. I'm going to lock those doors and you can't get back in the house. Oh my goodness. I can't tell you how many times we've heard that and how many times we've had to tell people, listen, that is not your child. That is your partner. Partners don't treat partners that way. You're on the same plane. You have equal authority in this relationship. You navigate through conflict together.
You know, we had a couple once where she kept the keys from him because she was upset, and I don't even remember what she was upset for. So it cost him his job. Why?
Yeah.
She couldn't get to work. He couldn't get to work. So therefore,
She hid the keys.
right?
How insane is that, right? But if you look around, I guarantee you're going to see that happening in couples around you. As a matter of fact, I'm sure that as you look at your own relationship, you're asking yourself, wow, how am I doing? What am I doing that's exerting authority over my partner instead of partnership?
So when we come back, we're going to talk about why this is important in your relationship and the relationships around you. Welcome back to TYRO TV. Today we're talking about don't ask permission, just do it.
Or stop punishing your partner. This is craziness. So we shared with you what we were talking about, like this whole behavior that asserts authority or control over your partner as if they were your child, and you begin parenting your partner instead of actually acting like you're in this together, working collaboratively towards a single goal.
So why is it important for you as a healthy couple to not reign over the other?
So nobody likes to be controlled. You know, the dissatisfaction, the feeling of, I don't even know, that anger, the resentment that is going to occur in your relationship when you feel controlled by your partner poisons the us in your relationship, and you're not going to make it across life together.
Now, if you made bad choices in your relationship, there are consequences because of that, right? But there's an opportunity to bring healing, right? And resolution, reconciliation. And if you're willing to do that because of the bad choices you made and you went outside the boundaries of this relationship or whatever relationship you have with your significant other, right? Then it's time to mend those and bring it to a place of healing and where it's healthy and it's growing.
So when we think about why you should stop punishing your partner, we think about the health of you, first of all, because you can't control everything. And so if you continue to try to exert authority and control over everyone in your life, you are going to become more and more dissatisfied, more and more stressed out, and more anxious because it's impossible and you cannot do it. So the harder you try, the more dissatisfied you become because it's impossible.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine living in a life of disappointment?
Oh my goodness.
I can't control you, therefore I'm disappointed when? All the time.
And the second thing it infects is your partner. So you're infecting everybody involved in this relationship, yourself and your partner, because your partner is resisting that control. Initially, they might be leaning in and saying, wow, this is great. I've got somebody that cares about me, that's protective. But then pretty soon it turns into, wow, they're controlling and they're jealous and they're too authoritative and I'm suffocating in this relationship. So it's unhealthy all the way around.
When I think about this, I'm thinking about you guys who might be incarcerated, right? You are living a life where you are controlled. You're in a controlled environment. Your whole atmosphere, you are under control. And you know what? That's because of the consequences and the choices that an individual made. And therefore, you come into a place of agreement with those who are who incarcerated you, and you have to live out this incarceration. So you actually have a contractual agreement, right? Hey, look, I messed up. I'm here. Therefore, I'm under your leadership and your guidance. But we know that's only temporary. So in the midst of this, you've come to a place of agreement. Now you're going to grow from this place. You're going to learn about discipline. You're going to learn about self-control. You're going to learn about freedom. And you're going to come to a place of appreciating not having to be told what to do once you leave that environment.
But as you are experiencing incarceration, if that's your story right now, then you are going to have to fight even harder to not exert control. Because when we are controlled, our tendency is then to find something else that we can control. Don't let that be your partner. Let that be your own choices and your own motives. Because even when you are in this quote unquote controlled environment, truly you still have choice. because you're making a decision every day. Okay, you know what? Is the consequence worth, breaking the rule? And if it is, you're going to do it. You're going to break the rule. And if the consequence isn't worth it to you, then you are going to follow the rules in front of you. Well, when we have a relationship and we're trying to build a partnership that actually creates this thriving relationship across our lifetime together, they aren't rules, they're agreements. Ron and I are coming into agreement collaboratively, and we're saying, okay, what do we want to attain together? Okay, well, if we want to buy a new car, then we have to save. And if we have to save, that means we have to stop spending in these other areas and put that money in this pool to buy a car. And so when we come into agreement, it's not that he's controlling my spending, I'm not controlling his spending. We've put a goal together that we both want to reach. And so we're working and we're together reaching this goal. Now, if Ron says, hey, you know what? I've decided I want to splurge and I'm going to take my wife out on this special dinner and I'm going to go outside the budget because it's our anniversary or whatever the special occasion might be. So if I go out and I get all angry and frustrated and say, oh, wow, you broke the rules. You know what? Now I'm going to punish you. Even though you're buying this great dinner for me, I'm going to cross my arms. I'm going to pout through the whole thing. I'm going to say, wow, you just set us back $100, sir. You just set us back $200 against that car. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that is such childish behavior. I'm trying to control him. So I'm not appreciating the flexibility that we have in our relationship to navigate as two grown adults that are able to make independent decisions and then just simply honor the partnership that we have, the us in the relationship.
When we think about the vows that we made when we got married, for better or for worse, for sickness and in health, you got to figure out, what does that mean? What does that look like? What's in between all that, right? But the word rule isn't there.
The control is not there.
That's not there. And I think that we lose sight of that because we go into this relationship with our past experiences. We left our parents' home, right? That was controlled environment, right? We may have left incarceration, controlled environment. Even when we have a job, there are rules at work that we have to follow. And so we take all those things that we've learned into our relationships because that's how we know how to live, by rules.
I'm just going to be the boss of you.
Right?
I'll be the boss of you.
Instead of coming into a collaboration or a healthy agreement, say, hey, let's lay this all out. Let's figure out what this is going to look like. And let's
be equal.
Let's be equals and come into an agreement on how we're going to live.
So when we come back, we're going to share with you how to accomplish this in your relationship. So stay tuned.
Finding your purpose should not be rocket science. Why is it in life when we get excited about something, when something comes our way and we know that this is our purpose, we know this is the reason why we were put here on earth, we allow life and the circumstances thereof to snatch our joy, to steal our dreams? Why is it that we allow those things to just suffocate our growth?
Because we make it so complicated. You need a program that shows you the process, that lays it out in front of you so that you know exactly when you're on track to unleash your fullest potential.
Because the word is, if you're faithful in the little things, you will be faithful in the big things.
In this program, we're going to teach you the process to actually reach your dreams. Some of you don't even know what your dreams are, so we're going to help you unlock that and unleash that. And then we're going to give you the process to step through all of the challenges, overcome every single obstacle in order to reach and achieve those dreams.
Part of the process of you becoming a new person for you is understanding what it means to be a TYRO, right? You're going to start reciting a pledge that is going to become your new mantra for your life, called the TYRO Pledge. And I promise you, this would change the way you think about you.
We're going to teach you the difference between a value statement and an observation. We're going to give you the formula on how to be successful in investing your time and energy. We're going to walk you through the process of developing a mission statement.
This is not going to be easy. This is not a cakewalk. But if you're ready to live up to your greatest potential, to take on every challenge that's in front of you and conquer them, then you're ready to be a TYRO.
You must know you are not on this path alone. As you go through this course, you're going to be going through this course with people all across the world. There are TYROs worldwide that are waiting to welcome you into this community, to become a person worth following and join the network that is transforming their lives and their communities.
The greatest honor of completing TYRO is to earn the TYRO pen. Many people from across the world, from all walks of life, have earned the TYRO pen by completing the 12 workshops that are in this program. But just because you signed up, and maybe you showed up for one or two of them, doesn't give you the right to earn the TYRO pen. You must complete this entire program to be pinned a TYRO.
This pinning is an outward symbol of something that's happened on the inside. Because throughout the TYRO process, you are going to be awakened to your purpose and your dreams. Your heartbeat begins to resurrect and beat again for the passion of being a leader in your home, your community, and your workplace.
If your dreams don't scare you, then you are not dreaming big enough. Sign up for this program if you're ready to be pushed to your greatest potential. Sign up for this program if you're ready to live the next level of life. You have what it takes. Everything that you need is right inside you. We're here to help you pull it out, your greatest potential. Quit running from yourself. Become the man or the woman that you were called to be here today, right now.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. Today we're talking about how to stop punishing your partner.
In order to stop punishing your partner, you have to stop parenting your partner.
Oh, man. So here's a suggestion for you. What we want you to do is take out a sheet of paper and write down a list of ways that you can parent your partner.
Everything from, telling them what time to get up, telling them what to wear, telling them how to comb their hair, telling them, what time they need to be where, who they can hang out with.
You need to make your bed. You need to do your laundry. You need to fold your clothes.
Making a chore chart for them. That's how you can parent your partner, right?
Make me a chore chart, honey.
Baby, I'm going to make you a chore chart.
Chore chart.
Chore chart. So as you do all of these things, make the list as exhaustive as you can. How can you parent your partner? How can you make them better? How can you guide them, direct them? Give them a budget. Tell them how much they can spend, when they can spend their money.
And remind them to brush their teeth.
And as soon as you see that they've spent money, that they haven't asked you if they could spend, quickly call them or text them.
Take that card away.
Yeah, take the card away. So write all those things down. That's step number 1. Step number 2, do the opposite of that. Everything you wrote down in your list of ways that you can parent your partner, every day make a decision to do the opposite of that.
I am so glad Cathy does not parent me.
I'm so glad you don't parent me.
Wow.
Am I allowed to hang out with them? Can I go there? Is that okay with you?
Can I buy me this? Can I go here? Can I do this? Wow.
Oh my goodness. So when we're talking about doing the opposite, it doesn't mean it's not okay to ask questions. Hey babe, you know what? I'm gonna go out to eat with Lisa. Is that okay with you? I'm not asking permission. What I'm really asking is, hey, what's your schedule like? Did you already have something planned?
Or hey, sweetheart, is it okay if I buy this?
Is that going to disrupt our budget?
Right. That's why I'm asking those questions. There's a healthy way of talking and communicating and living versus, hey, honey, is it okay if I spend a little bit extra money?
No, you're not going to have any money.
Because if I'm walking on eggshells in this relationship and I can't ask it, for the blessing or the agreement, right? Then there's something wrong with us.
Asking questions is part of a healthy relationship, but asking permission as if the person has all authority, that is a sign of an unhealthy relationship. So as you navigate through how do you parent your partner, now do the opposite, that doesn't mean stop checking in, because just out of honor, I'm going to ask Ron, hey, what are our plans Friday? I'm thinking about doing this. Is that going to work for you? That's okay. As a matter of fact, you need to do that. Just going and doing whatever I want to do and not telling Ron anything, that means I'm exerting undue authority because I'm deciding that I can behave like a single person instead of a partner.
So how do you measure this? How can you tell if you're changing your behavior and you're being successful and you're growing together? Well, one way of doing it is tracking what you're doing. How many times this day did I tell my wife what to do? Right?
So create a little chart, and one says partner and the other one says parent. So whenever you treat your partner like a partner, do a little check mark. When you treat them like a child, like you're parenting them, do a check mark in the parent box. At the end of each week, check and see, okay, how did I do this week? Each week, you should see less check marks in the parenting box and more check marks in the partner box.
Now, this might not be normal, right? We've never done a chart where, you know what, let me see if I'm parenting today, and let me see if I'm actually being a partner today or a healthy person today. You know, and as you look at this, be honest with yourself, be transparent with yourself. Let your partner know what you're doing. Hey, you know what, I want to be a better husband for you, and I think I've been more of a parent versus a husband or a partner for you. So what I'm going to do is, and then you explain to them what you're doing, and if they're not into it, if they don't want to do it, don't take it personal. D-tip, don't take it personal. This is about your own internal growth, right? Because I don't want to parent Cathy, but I want to be a great leader. I want to be a great husband. I want to be a great father. That means I got to examine what am I doing, what's my behavior, what's my attitude, and combine that all together. Am I growing up in this relationship?
So the most important thing about this is increasing your self-awareness. And so this self-assessment, this, parent or partner behavior is going to help you increase your own self-awareness, and you're going to recognize, wow, I've got some work to do in these areas. I'm doing pretty good here. And it might be that you're going to discover, wow, I do really well, except when we talk about finances, or I do really well, except when we talk about her spending time with her friends. Whatever those areas are, you're going to identify them, and you're going to be able to advance your self-improvement journey.
When we come back, we're going to wrap all this up, so stay tuned. You don't want to miss this. Welcome back to TYRO TV. Today we've been talking about how to stop parenting your spouse.
And stop punishing them when they don't live up to your expectations. That is not a healthy relationship. And you're trying to invest in a relationship that's going to bring you both satisfaction and joy across a lifetime.
So we talked about making a list about the positive and the negative, how to parent and how to really be a partner, right, in your relationship. But what we're talking about is, how do you destroy what you really love? How do you destroy your passion? How do you block your own 3-point?
So when you can identify the poisonous things that keep you from reaching your goals in every area of your life, you'll be successful everywhere. So if you're trying to start a business, write down everything you could do that could stop your business from being successful. If you're trying to be a good parent, write down everything you could do that could make you a bad parent. Just like you wrote down everything that would cause you to parent your partner, you're going to do the same thing. And then you're going to do the opposite, because you're going to be like, wow, that's a negative behavior. Let me change that.
And you know what? And the word is poison. How can you poison or do what we call friendly fire into something you've been dreaming about and building? Cathy mentioned, if you're starting a business, can you imagine you're starting a business but you never call your customers? Can you imagine you starting a business but you don't save your money? You don't put your money where it belongs. Everything that comes in, you spend it right away. Right? You're not reinvesting into your business. Well, that means you're not really liking what you're doing, and you're going to destroy your business. I like what I'm doing here, so I don't want to do anything that's going to destroy what we're building. In fact, I'll check myself before I wreck myself. And that's what we're asking you to do. Check yourself from the neck up, right? Maybe you need to check. Everybody needs this. This is learned behavior. It's easy to throw a temper tantrum. It's easy to throw a fit. It's easy to break something. But it takes hard work and effort and discipline to build something that's going to outlast you.
This has been such a great experience to spend this time with you today to talk about how you can stop punishing your partner, stop parenting your partner, and start investing in the us of your relationship to really build a collaborative partnership that is going to just exceed your expectations.
So thank you for allowing us to be part of your journey. And always remember that we are rooting for you.